My name is Moses Powell. I've been studying jiu-jitsu for the last 20 years. I'm the master for Renda Visitashimo. And at this particular time, I'm a senior master in the art of jiu-jitsu Te and jiu-jitsu Ryu.
.radio.net presents to you some of the most deadly jiu-jitsu masters in the world. Trained in the vicious urban inner-city street combat system of sanuces Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, this art was created by the legendary Dr. Moses Powell, the father of American contemporary jiu-jitsu and the greatest martial artist of the 20th century. This network brings together 4 radio shows 4 nights a week, starting with Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Each one teach one, with the Pia Master himself, Grandmaster Urban Muhammad, and his protege, Professor Terrence Hale. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Modern Combat Masters, hosted by the inheritor of GM Billy Davis Jiu-Jitsu, guru of his own Filipino system, and Sanuces Master, Grandmaster Daryl Sargent, and his co-host, Sifu Reseda de Jesus. Thursday nights at 9 p.m. is Professor Tom Curry's radio talk show. A Kenpo Master and Professor of Sanuces Ryu, 20 years law enforcement, senior tactical training instructor for intelligence retired, and author of the official Sanuces Ryu Jiu-Jitsu testing and training curriculum. And Friday nights at 8 p.m. is Making the Connection, hosted by the president of DocRadio.net, Grandmaster in the art of Sanuces Ryu and Soke of Kuroshi Kaikan martial arts system, and president of the Family of Sanuces organization, Soki Haisan Khalik, and his co-host, SHIHAN FAROUQ GIBBS. All of these shows can be linked to online by typing in docradio.net or listening live at the scheduled time by dialing 646-716-6825. DocRadio.net is also proud to present DocMagazine.net, the world's largest martial art magazine dedicated to Dr. Moses Powell, Sanuces Ryu Eye-to-Eye Jiu-Jitsu, Urban Tactical Street Self-Defense, and Streetology. Please join our Facebook group by typing in docradio.net and follow us on Twitter by typing docradio.net. Thank you for your support, and in the words of Doc, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back, us.
Welcome to the Integrative Sanuces Ryu.
Blog Talk Radio.
This is Fukan Shabazz on the DocRadio.net network, DocRadio.net network. Tonight's show is the Integrity of Sanuces Ryu of the River That Never Ran Dry, with your host, Chief Professor, Grandmaster Yehuda Shem Yehuda, and Professor Yusuf Rahman. Without any further ado, the show started a few minutes late. I'm going to bring in the masters. Chief Professor.
What's going on, man?
Walaikum salam. How was your weekend? How was your week since we last talked?
Can't complain. You always?
Mine was pretty good. I'm a little tied up right now, so I'm going to let you two masters take over the show, and I'm going to come back in about 15, 20 minutes, okay?
All right. Grandmaster General?
Yeah, Grandmaster.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Okay, we had a sequel to pick up from last week. We had the understanding of focus is beyond touch, as well as the sequel from Wake Him Up to Knock Him Out. We'll take care of Wake Him Up to Knock Him Out first, and we'll move on. Focus is beyond touch. We'll do that first. All right. Understanding of what about focus is being beyond touch is that focus being beyond touch is the fact that it travel to any particular part of that individual's body that you want. Let's say you strike him in the floating ribs. The strike won't resonate there in the ribs. The strike will go all the way around to the other side. That's you being able to focus and send that power or that energy where you want to. Not like a Universal when they load up to do reverse punch. Well, that punch, or rather the residuals from that punch is usually felt where the impact zone is at. Very, very few of them have learned how to make that strike travel, how to make that energy end up in the shoulder, and you started out in the hand, or end up in the abdomen, and you started out in the neck. Okay. I wanted to do something a little different tonight as far as a live interaction as far as the application goes. We want to take an application called toe-to-toe. All right? We're going to take toe-to-toe, fan block, to heel the toe, fan block, sword arm elbow, spear hand pelvis. As you spear hand the pelvis, palm across. If you're quick enough, palm across the chin-don. If you miss the chin-don, once you hit him in the pelvis with the spear hand, then take and use the palm across hand and hit him with a shotgun, hit him up. Once you make his head rise.
Can you explain what shot him up, hit him up is, as far as the body concerned? Where's that strike to?
Okay, this particular hit him up is going to the chin-don. Okay, let's say you hit a person in the stomach. Most people just double over when you hit him there. Okay, you are hitting him in a spot that you know the individual is going to bend over, and then as they're bending over, you have the next strike waiting in the exact area that they face or their chin is coming down to. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to wonder. It's right there. Hit 'em up is a application in Sanuces that can be done anywhere on the body that you can strike it up. It does not necessarily have to be in the head region. It just has to be a strike that you're doing that causes the body to go up. I hope that's explainable. That means that you can hit him up in the armpit. You can hit him up in the pelvis. You can hit him up in the femoral artery in the thigh, or what's called the hollow of the thigh. You can you can bend his head over and hit him up with the draping move. You can hit him up with a slap. You can hit him up with it's endless. Your imagination is the only thing that's changing, and your ability to be able to get to the target is the only thing that can stop or make this happen or not happen. Okay, so we had Wake 'em Up to Knock 'em Out. Wake 'em Up to Knock 'em Out is a clandestine application that was taught during the third or final phase of training the trainer and teaching to teach. We finished these up in Hartford, Connecticut at Grandmaster Anaconda's place. Attendees for that particular venue would have been Soki Hassan Khalik. During that time, it was SHIHAN, Grandmaster SHIHAN Logan, his student, Grandmaster Russell Sinclair, Professor Gloria Gaston, what his name is, Greg McCall, his son, and myself, and about 4 of my disciples. Okay, at any rate, it is a toe-to-toe to heel-to-toe application. The motion is slip. When you slip the punch, you hit them over and under. There are going to be 3 variations in this. You hit them over and under. After you hit them over and under, you body check the arm, bring the arm across you, and check it again. As you check it again, your hand is on the elbow, your hand is on top of his arm. You slide up the length of his arm towards his shoulder with an elbow shot to the neck. From that elbow shot to the neck, short sword arm to the side of the face or the head. The head region would be more larger target. Okay? Once you've hit that's the first 2 of 3 strikes. The third and final strike will be to the medulla oblongata, the back of the head. But at that point, the person is falling forward. The second variation of the entry will start off almost the same. Only difference is after over and under, it's cut the throat with the neck. Once you
what are you saying when you say over and under?
Over and under is a strike that's inherent, again, to Sanuces. You can strike over and under the heart, or you can strike over and under the lungs. Any kind of way it go, it is a devastating strike as far as the recipient. So I'll tell you like that big hand guy said, make sure that you're the deliverer and not the receiver. All right? When you're doing this over and under strike over the heart, you are literally stopping the heart, or you can literally stop an individual's heart with the strike. Okay? So we had second version, stand block, sword arm, over, under, cut, check. The second variation.
Cut where?
Cut the neck. Cut the neck with your finger or fingers. As you come out of the overstrike, cut the neck. Then go ahead and give him the undershot. All right. Then the body check or the body check to the arm. Once you have finished the body check to the arm, you're gonna rotate the arm or pass the arm to your opposite hand, so that your left hand or your right hand will have the lower portion of the forearm, and your free hand will have the ability to be under the elbow this time. As it goes under the elbow, you go towards the head on a pitch, straight at the head with that elbow, cut down with that to the side with that sword arm, back to that medulla oblongata. All right. Again, there are, in most martial arts systems, clandestine teachings. Those clandestine teachings would be techniques that would be taught in the system forever, and they would be taught to direct lineage students. Now, whether or not they still have the material, that's their problem. If they don't keep up with it, that's still their problem. Let's see, where else? Oh, okay. The third variation is the slip. Just the slip itself. You slip over and hit him over, under, check, turn back, snap, step toe to toe with that elbow shot. Elbow, sword, medulla. So that's the side of it. That's the karate triangle you're going in with the elbow. The hinge line of the head and face, okay, and that wisdom knot on the back of the head, on the back of your head.
So when you say to the strike to medulla oblongata, what type of strike do you use?
You're using a palm cobra strike.
Can you explain to the audience what is a palm cobra strike?
Okay. The cobra strike was developed from looking at the cobra snake. Okay. The cobra strike. Okay. Take your palm and raise it up like the head of one of those Egyptian hieroglyphs. Okay. It resembles a snake. All right. Push the palm out, or accent the palm out, and heel of the hand. That is the cobra effect of the strike itself. Now, so on this particular target, the target is bent over. So you're striking down. So think of yourself as doing oxjaw strike in reverse. Come back to yourself or come back past yourself. That'll be the cobra palm strike itself going to the medulla oblongata. That knot on the back of your head. Most in black folks' country, they call it the nigger knot or the wisdom knot. But as Big Aaron God said, it'll put you on Clear Street, not so Clear Street. And he ain't never lied on that one. You'll be asking, who am I? What did I do wrong? All right. We'll take some other histories just to get a clearer understanding. Let's take fan block, toe-to-toe, heel-to-toe. Fan block MP forearm. As you make the MP strike, let the arm untwine, turn your chest to the elbow, body check. These are movements that even novices should be able to get a grasp of. There was a question earlier that was posed from this individual named Saladin, I forget his last name, as far as him hearing the word from the Sanuka students, toe-to-toe and heel-to-toe, and they wanted to know what it meant. I was pretty sure that we had covered this material, but for the sake of argument, I covered the material again in print. So there's a text there covering that, so we don't have to do that again. All right? Heel-to-toe and toe-to-toe is the basis of what Sanukas is based upon. Where your body is in respect to your opponent. Where do you want to be? Then it comes down to being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there to do certain applications. If you don't do these applications at the speed that they're supposed to be done at, then more than likely you will not be effective. I won't tell you that it wouldn't be effective. I'm saying that you will not be effective. We hope that this information...
So can you do the same application from toe to toe that you do from heel to toe, or there's something you can do from one that you can't do from another?
That's correct. What you can do there are some applications that you can do from toe to toe and heel to toe. There are other applications that you cannot, because...
Can you give a couple examples of what you're saying?
All right, as we said before, or made clear before as an overview, toe-to-toe, you have an option of being at an individual's at the end of their reach or all up in their space. But once you're all up in their space, then that excludes you being heel-to-toe now, because you're in the center of that person. You're on the inside of that person. One puts you on the inside, one puts you on the outside. Your level of competence has to come to a point where whether you're on the inside or whether you're on the outside, it doesn't make a difference. Because you're going to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there to get whatever done that you need to do. Does that help, sir?
Well, yes, because people are listening, and sometimes they confuse you. You give terms, and the people say, well, they don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. I'll give another entry. Let's say we toe-to-toe. We got toe-to-toe, the person throw the jab hook. As they throw the jab, you fan block it. They throw the hook punch, and you hit it with rolling rising block. You're going to move from a point where you at the end of the individual's fist to a point that you beside you either made the individual turn in another direction, or you have moved on the side of where you made that individual turn to. So one of two outcomes should come from any application. Either you're moving the target or you're moving yourself. You're moving with the mover and moving with the rhythm of that individual's movements? Or you making that individual change their direction of projection or force or which way they want it to go? That's not counting how much body weight that you bring to the application.
We noticed you added something called body weight. Can you explain to the radio audience what do you mean when you say body weight? Because in most martial artists, they say that the power comes from the hip motion. So what's body weight?
Body weight is the total weight of your body that you are able to put into any given application at any point in time. Well, let's say, for instance, in the Universal, they teach individuals how to do crescent step. All right. Within that crescent step, an individual is actually learning how to make their body go in a direct line. All right, or make it go in a direct line in unison with itself. Okay. After a while, then they'll be able to generate force as they're making that step. Then they'll come to a point where they're able to bring their hip into that action as well, where they'll be able to bring whether they're introducing a kick into the motion, or whether they're introducing a punch. Again, the power from it is coming from the hips. So we are not denying the fact that within the hips is where that seat of power is at. All we're saying is that you don't have to, in this intellectual creation, you don't have to. You can generate body weight from move one. From move one, whether it be fan block sword arm, or let's say fan block sword arm as the block, or fan block sword arm as the strike. Which target have you chosen, and is the target that you have chosen soft tissue, or is the target that you have chosen bone? Is that bone dense, and if so, does it bend? Which way does it work? Does it have universal motion, or does it have a limited range of motion, whether like an arm extending and contracting? You sticking out your hand like you want somebody to give you something, and then you putting your hand on your shoulder. That's the contraction. That's the arms shrinking up or drawing back. Hopefully that's clearer for them. All right. Let's take forearm block. Stepping away from forearm block. Forearm block, slap. Cobra to the side of the head. Head roll.
You say forearm block, slap to where?
Yeah. You can slap the side of the neck down. You can slap the side of the neck forward. You can slap the face, the top of the head down. Which can you use the tools that you have been taught or introduced to? And can you use them in a number of different ways in strikes? So the study of this intellectual creation, we're not limited to the regimen of linear strikes. We have Grandmaster Noel used the word before, cornucopia, a horn of plenty, as far as ways and means to strike within the system. So we're not stuck with having to do reverse punch. We're not stuck with having to do lunge punch. We're not stuck with having to do chin pow. You can use all of them, depending on your needs, or if you had to up your game. You got to step out with your A game every day, not step out with it once in a while. Does that help, sir? I understand that you did want to make a statement. I don't want to cut into your time on that because we do have to.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and continue.
All right. So let's take what we had that fan block. Let's take forearm block. Slap the arm that you block with that you do the forearm block with is the same arm that you're going to do the slap on, the backhand slap of that same arm. So you move it to the side and you're going to slap it down. As you slap it down, that person's body will pitch forward. As their body pitches forward, hit them up. Hit them up with the palm of your hand under their chin. As you hit them up with the palm of your hand under their chin, hit them with the moment of truth. Standing. I know. Okay. The moment of truth and understanding is basically you might call it your last rites, or the last ride. Because it will open your mind and open your eyes to a new reality. I'm hoping that everyone that is participating in the program is finding it of use, and that really want the information as it is, unadulterated, uncensored, unbastardized. Because the founder said that you got to give this up like you got it. It is not up to us to choose whether or not how to introduce this material to a student. That individual is there to introduce that student to the material and the level of the content that it is. So there is no misunderstanding about what it is that they're doing and what is supposed to be the outcome from it.
I noticed that a lot of people say of Sanuces rule that and other martial art systems that we are one family. And yes, we are all one family as martial artists.
Yes, sir.
But what there were specific things after that, because we all came from the same source, there's still a differentiation between the systems. Example, yes, Professor Lorenzo Felicitator was Doc's teacher. And yes, Sophie John Davis was a student of Doc. But if you look at the basics of the system of Regis rule or Bishop Regis who say is based upon V-step.
Yes, sir.
Or it's based upon cross-step. There is no toe-to-toe in Vijitsu rule or Vijitsu tape. There's no heel-to-toe in Vijitsu rule or Vijitsu tape. Kamite rule, Doc says that if you take what you have and add Sanuces rule to it and make what you have better. He didn't say that it was equal. He said if you take what you had and add Sanuces rule to it, it will make it better.
Yes, it is, sir.
He also said that Sanuces rule can stand on its own. Sanuces rule doesn't need any help. It doesn't need any assistance. Sanuces rule can stand on its own. He also says that flow is movement. Movement, he said that timing being where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. That concept is not in Vijitsu Te or Vijitsu rule. That concept is not in Kamite rule. So, yes, it started out in the same place, but as it matured, you had differentiation differences. So for you to say that because we started from the same source, that we're one family and it's all together is not true. You have three unique different systems and three unique different arts.
Well, how can they be so narrow-minded as to think that, to make that statement on a broad scale and not realize that each one of those systems have their own merits. They stand on their own merits by themselves. If I'm correct.
Because if you do not acquaint yourself with this integrated creation and the core moves in this integrated creation, then you will think that yes, it's all the same. But once you immerse yourself into this intellectual creation, you see the differentiation between the three.
Grandmaster Professor, this is Shabazz. I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, did he not also say within that thing about taking sanuces and adding it to what you have and making it better, that if you add this to sanuces, if you add sanuces to whatever you have and it don't get any better, then you didn't have anything in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely.
So one have to take a retrospective look at were they a consummate martial artist? Were they even mediocre, or was they even on the map as far as whatever it was that they were studying?
Well, what we're really saying is that we're talking about accomplished martial artists. We're not talking about novices. We're talking about accomplished martial artists. And what we're saying is this, is that as you deal with differentiation between the three, you see that there are distinct differences in how the three arts approach the situation.
Yes, sir.
It's distinct difference in how they approach the situation. So to say that if you have one, do you have more, is not really true. Because you were talking about the what's up touch. There's no such thing in the Jiu-Jitsu or that. There's no such thing as the Jiu-Jitsu rule of focus of touch. There's no such move. There's no such concept in the system.
That's all about focuses being beyond touch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's no concept in the other two systems of that. So how can you say that if you have one, do you have more?
Professor, you had talked about sanuces being an art of flowing. And that's one thing that I think I've come to understand what sanuces is for me, is that it doesn't really fall on the karate, it doesn't really fall on the jiu-jitsu, but more or less it does fall on the movement. And to me, it would appear that if you want to see if something is in the same family, you would have to base on how the person moves. I want to just play a 30-second clip of Doc, and he talks about flowing. Let me just play this, and then we could talk, and then I'm going to ask you a question about it. 1 second.
You can't take a man and tell him he must be rigid when he flows, like a stream.
Yeah, he said you can't take a man to be rigid when he flows like a stream. So
absolutely.
So
if you look at a stream.
Well, I know what a stream is.
With the ocean. You start with the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, you see that sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's choppy. Or you go to a river, and it's the same thing. Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's choppy. But if you've got a stream, it's a continual motion. It's a continual smooth motion. It's a continual smooth motion. There's no choppiness. There's no stop and start. It's this one continual motion. It's one continual flow. So he's saying that why should you teach a man to be hard and rigid, meaning why should you teach a man to would you say slow, how would you say, would you really say?
Static. Static form, sir. Static form.
Huh?
Static form.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a word that they understand with this, what I'm saying to them, is why should you why should you shortcome his ability to do something by making it rigid, by saying there's only one way of doing things? That's what I'm trying to get him to say. Where there's only one way of doing things. There's only one set way of doing things when you should flow. But there are many ways to get at the same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Professor, let me ask you this question. When it comes to flowing, though, you got two examples of flowing. You got a stream, that comes down a river and it flows, and some people can look at that and say, okay, this is at the highest level. This is a good example of how your mastery should look, like a stream flowing like water. But you also got a volcano. When the volcano comes down from the volcano, when it flows, it's lava. It's flowing just the same, but it has a totally different intensity. When that flow comes down, it destroys everything in its path. It has a consistent stream, but everything that it goes through, it turns into lava. I mean, it just destroys it. So when it comes to the sanukus flow, should it be like the stream of a volcano, like the lava, or should it be like the down a river?
No, it should be like a river. Because in sanukus there is no beginning, there is no end. It's just a continual motion based upon the situation and circumstance. Because you have to understand that the body moves naturally in a certain manner.
Yes, sir.
And all you're doing is you're either altering the way the body moves, or you're using the movement of the body against itself.
That would be exact.
Yeah, Professor, I'm going in and out with a thunderstorm, but I'm listening. I'm listening to you, sir.
So no, it's not. You see, it's not a violent flow. No, it's an easy, smooth flow.
Now, but Professor, someone can make, when I look at Doc in his earlier years with the self-defense complete, wouldn't you say that his self-defense complete was more like a volcanic flow versus a water flow?
Oh, explosive, yes.
Yes and no. Yes, self-defense complete was more of a universal. It was more of what everybody do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you understand that, sir, Foucault?
Yeah. But
in other words, sometimes they did spare hand, they did judo, they did reverse punch, cat stands, that type of stuff, and that's what everybody do. It's just that he was better at it than anybody else, or he was more skilled than most other people.
So basically, what you said is you measure Sanukus master by how he flows. Is that
yeah. Absolutely. That's what separates Sanuces from other places.
In fighting concepts number 4, we are given a guide to how to gauge martial arts instructors, especially when it comes to this particular martial art. You are advised to check out that instructor's mind and the depth of his conversation, not the fluff. How is your project coming for the 16th? Are we still on track? Hello?
Furqan?
Yeah, I'm just going in and out. I'm here. Yeah, we're still on track. Yeah.
That's excellent, because we're not trying to impede any of your marketing abilities or your works as far as this goes. We're not going to stand in your way, no.
Brother Furqan, can I ask you a question in that concern?
Yeah, sure.
When it comes to this website and Doc Radio, is anything that has Doc's name or likeness, is that going to be controlled by Doc Radio?
Right.
So in other words, if Grandmaster Tim has tapes, or he has pictures, or he has anything, is that all that comes under DocRadio.net?
Well, no. Anything that, Doc Radio, we're not. It's not really about control. I mean, I'm not a control freak. Doc Radio's not a control freak. That's not even the right word. Obviously, if it's his pictures, if it's his material, then he controls it. Doc Radio, the way you should look at Doc Radio, don't look at Doc Radio like a martial arts structure. Look at Doc Radio like a distribution of information. The only people that controls the distribution of the likeness of Doc is the estate. The only thing that makes Doc Radio has a special relationship is that we have a relationship with the estate. So as long as the estate sanctions off on whatever it is, whether it's the Grandmaster or whoever master I use on Doc Radio, it would always be under the control of whoever it comes from. But in terms of it being distributed, again, Doc Radio is just a distribution. In terms of it being, whether it's distributed.
I'm saying if a master has some type of material or something to be distributed, should he distribute on his own, or should he distribute through Doc Radio?
Well, if he's dealing with Dr. Powell, I mean, if he wants to, if he wants to be up and up, and if he doesn't want to, if he really just want to be up and up, I wouldn't even say Doc Radio. I would say the estate.
Daddy's not that cold.
I would say the estate. But again, but because of your affiliation with Doc Radio, we were running past the estate. So you just killed two birds with one stone. Because this is the thing. Let's say, for instance, if I had 1,000 tapes by Dr. Powell, or let's say I had 1,000 books by Dr. Powell, and I got these 1,000 tapes, I got these 1,000 books. Okay, big deal. Now let's say the estate, the estate sanctioned to give me a license. They say, I could do what I want to do. Okay, great. Now I'm jumping up. Okay, but what's next? How are you going to distribute it? Where's your distribution coming in at? Where you going to market that? Where you going to, Now, see, this is where Doc Radio comes in at. Doc Radio is just nothing more but a distribution for the intellectual creation of Dr. Moses Powell. And that that's my only interest. My interest is not in your tapes, not in your books, anything like that. My interest is giving a supreme distribution so that masters who would like to be part of this distribution can get their information out. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not in the interest. I don't have no interest in I don't have any interest in that. I don't have any interest. You know, you can have an autograph for Dr. Powell. I don't have no interest in that. Now, the people who may have interest in that is probably the estate. I'm sure they would, because they control the likeness. I don't control the likeness. I don't own the estate. All I own is the distribution of the likeness.
So, if I have something to distribute, then I should distribute through Doc Radio.
If you want to distribute it, you could distribute however you feel you want to distribute it. Like, I've always taken a very liberal approach with this. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand something. Even if I never had one master, it doesn't matter to me. My program would still go. I'll make a video game. I care. I distribute on Xbox. You see what I'm saying? If I didn't have Xbox, I make an app. I distribute on Android phones. Hold on 1 second, Professor. Hold on. Yeah, I'm back, Professor. You there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't. My concern is not really the content. My concern is the distribution of the content. It's kind of like if this was the music business, right? And if you had the rappers, right? So, like, I look at the grandmasters, professors, black belts, whatever. They're like they're like the big time, whatever, big Jay-Z's. But I don't care how big you are. You still need a Universal. You still need a Sony to distribute your music. Because if Jay-Z never had the record deal, he'd still be in the projects in Bed-Stuy. So this is where Doc Radio comes in at. Is that we're giving you a platform so that you could distribute your content. We're not trying to control any of your content. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Now, but like Universal, and this is the only way that you should look at Doc Radio. Like Sony, like Universal, this is how you should see Doc Radio. But like Universal, like Sony, there are royalties. There are things that Universal did for Michael Jackson, Sony did for Jay-Z, that made these guys billionaires, right? And that's the same intent that Doc Radio plans to do with people like you. It's to make you should have some kind of material life. Because remember, when we go into the next phase of this with the website, again, it's going to be premium memberships. I mean,
okay, so if they're premium membership, then in order for someone to obtain something from one of the masters, isn't that part of the premium membership? Isn't that a perk?
Of course. If you want to get a manual, you're gonna have to buy it. Now, of course, all of this is going through my relationship with the estate. But again, because of your affiliation with Doc Radio, you're in the clear. I'm saying this on a national radio show. I have no hesitation about this. I'm an up and up person, and it's because of my character.
You mentioned about the manual. Now, so should you or can you get it without going through Doc Radio, or should you go through Doc Radio in order to obtain it?
No, I can't tell you that. I would never say that you have to go through me. You know what I'm saying? What I would say is that Doc Radio has an exclusive deal where legally we'll be a legit company that is recognized by the estate to distribute information on the internet. Okay? So, but there's other ways you could distribute information. You could distribute information on the radio. You could distribute information on cable TV. You can distribute information on but when it comes to the domain of the internet, Doc Radio has an exclusive relationship with that particular way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So let's say, so again, you got the 1,000 books, you got the 1,000 tapes, and you got You got, you know what I'm saying? You're a grandmaster. Okay, fine. You got all this stuff. Okay, but now, distribute it now. It's like, you see what I'm saying? Distribute it. You see what I'm saying? Put up the thousands of dollars, put up the money, and distribute your stuff. You see what I'm saying? This is where Doc Radio comes in at. We have a distribution in place to do what you want to do.
Right. Exactly.
And not only, you see what I'm saying? So it's not like, Chief Professor Grandmaster Shim, he's a very to the point. Chief Professor is a brutally honest person, and that's why I respect him, and that's why I deal with him, because I'm the same way. And Grandmaster, on record, have I ever bribed you, or have I ever tried to do anything that wasn't an up and up with you since you ever known me?
Nope.
Never. So, and I think the same character that he sees in me is the same character that the estate sees in me, and this is the reason why I think they bless me. I don't scheme, you know what I mean? Whatever I'm telling you on the radio, I tell you off the radio. I'm not two-faced. You know what I mean? How we say here, I mean, that's what it is. But this is a good conversation, and I'm glad we got it, Doc.
Because, we want to make it clear. We want to make it clear so there's no problem, there's no misunderstanding, there's no nothing. We want to make it real clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you something. Whatever Chief Professor has and whatever you have with Doc Radio, and again, all this stuff. You gotta be quiet for a minute. And all this stuff that I'm, with any of the content, that you have, my business, the Doc Radio partners, which is the estate, will I'll pass it through, and most of the time, as long as it's on the up and up, it's a green light. It's a green light. There's nothing that Chief Professor has brought to my attention as of yet that will be a problem. And this is just based on things that I've passed back through the estate. You see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, he has, like I told him, he has nothing to worry about. So if anybody is telling him anything different than what I'm saying, then they fall under scheming, you know what I'm saying, getting into your mind, playing with knowledge, playing with information, putting fear in you. There's no fear here. It's on radio. I'm documenting. All we're trying to do is hit the website off the ground. And the reason why the website is taking long is because it's a very sophisticated, very, very advanced website. The website is not like it's like no site you've ever seen before. The website is designed to distribute content. It's a content-oriented website. It's like the YouTube version of content. It's very revolutionary, this technology we're using, and there's very limited documentation on it. The way we put it, you know what I'm saying? There's no support for this type of system that I'm putting together. So even in that should show you how serious we are.
So you saying by next Monday you should be up and running?
Inshallah, right.
That's good. That's good to hear.
But we got we have 5 more minutes. Get it out. Whatever questions you have in terms of Doc Radio, in terms of the business, ask me, please.
From my perspective, Doc is providing that distributionship where one don't have to get out there and do that grind themselves.
That's right. That's the only reason why Chief Professor Grandmaster Shim, who's probably been doing martial arts over 50 years, Professor FAROUQ, you've probably been doing martial arts over 40 years, 50 years, and some kid from Brooklyn who could be your son, the only reason why you would even talk to me is because I have a distribution. I own a distribution company called Doc Radio. You know what I'm saying? If the distribution wasn't in place, why would you? For what? Like, what would you even talk to me for? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you didn't have the content of Dr. Powell that I respect, what would I talk to you for? What would I at 9 o'clock be on the phone with you for? Every damn 9 o'clock. I see value in you. You see value in me. Eye to eye.
Right,
heart
absolutely.
To the wall and back.
Table. not bring gimme.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
If you look at our relationship, I've given, you've given, and guess who's the winner in our relationship? Dr. Moses Powell.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not Fukan Shabazz Jiu-Jitsu. Am I telling the truth?
That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
That's exactly why it's entitled integrity.
You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Moses Powell is the winner.
Because if that was not brought to the forefront, this would not even be. My colleague.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I wanted to promote Fukan Shabazz Jiu-Jitsu, I would just create another distribution company called Fukan Shabazz Jiu-Jitsu. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't got nothing to do with that. This is all about the greatest martial artist of the 20th century. Period.
Absolutely.
And it just happened to be a black man from the wilderness of North America.
Well, that is our other part. That 90% of the martial artists in the United States were taught by black men in the ghettos. What no Chinese individuals standing. And those that were fortunate enough to have them, well, guess what? You were so damn far in the back that it didn't matter no way. But I ain't going back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, and like I said, if you ever get a chance to talk to Janice Powell, she knows my heart. She knows the real reason what inspired me. Ask her. I'm not gonna put her on radio, but tell her. I helped you a little bit. When you ever see her, tell her I told when I was talking to her, I saw, and when I saw that event, and she know what I'm talking about. And after I saw that event, that put the love in me for her and her family. I said I'm going to do something like this. This didn't come from my own personal gain. I don't need this for that. I've been doing businesses for my life.
That's the other part. He didn't start doing business yesterday. Didn't crawl from up under no rock. This is bulletproof.
You know what I'm saying? You know how I look at Moses Powell? I look at Moses Powell the same way. I look at Sanuces Rule the same way how Napoleon looked at China. Napoleon said that China was the great lion, and it said that once it awakened, it'd take everything over. And that's like that. Sometimes it seems that Moses Powell is like the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? Like everybody talks about everything but the man himself.
Right. Absolutely.
Hey, Chief Professor, we got 90 seconds left. Take us out. I wanted to get cut off by the thing.
Go ahead, Grandmaster.
Yes. And what we're going to try to do is add another component to this platform as far as an interactive application. Those that have gotten the concept down of what toe-to-toe and heel-to-toe is and what a few other moves are, we're going to hope that you can call in and work along with us. With that, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back. Each one teach one.
Us.